everyone. I am Jamarl Thomas. I am your host of the Progressive Soapbox. This is, I guess, late night at the Soapbox. I heard several of the people here screaming for chess. I don't think I've ever heard that before, I've ever said those words before, but people were screaming, clamoring for chess. So, listening to my audience, I'm going to engage in this act, even though I may not have engaged in this act otherwise. Now, to be fair, Blaze, it's 4-1. It's 4-1. First, Blaze one if you got one. Because if you're up, I don't know why you're up. I would imagine you don't have to go to work tomorrow. And if you do have to go to work tomorrow, shame on you. But either way, Blaze one if you got one. And it's 4 in the morning. I'm tired. I've been up all day. Not to mention treatment yesterday and everything else. And yes, I'm making excuses now. Because even though these things are excuses, these things are also true. So there are things that are weighing on my powers. But nevertheless, I will engage in this act of fisticuffs, mental fisticuffs. And I will be victorious. Let's play some chess. Now, again, rules. I say this every time. The rules are straightforward. I don't choose my opponent. Meaning, I don't get to choose who comes up in the list. Meaning, I can't pick easy people in order to make myself look good. The god of this system of the ICC chooses. I hit a button, I hit 3 minutes, and up pops a person who's available to play. It's a cage match. Any person who disconnects loses. And the people play until there's an outcome. And then they will, it's like you can't leave until there's an outcome. It's pretty epic in those terms. And any game that I lose, I have to review. Now, that said, I review all the games in general, unless it's just a stupid game. But I think that's it. I mean, those are really the only rules. I don't choose who I play. And any game I lose, I have to review. So, all right, let's get a game in. Play some chess. Let's see. Maybe this one is better. No one's that better. I'll see. All right, I'm waiting on them to pluck a player. I chose the vampire thing because it's late at night. All right, now this guy's at IM. He's an international master. So, oh wow, you can't see with that. There, that's a little better. All right, that's a little better. I'm kill the mic. But I'm kill the mic because I have a radio on. But I'll be here.
Check. 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 Time warning. Check. Check.
That's a win. That's what that is. And yes, despite my king being in the corner cowering, that's a win. A win is a win is a win. It is what it is. I'm claiming that win. I'm claiming that win like a evangelical claim Jesus. Time is part of the Blitz. It's part of Blitz. It's part of the game. All right, I'm gonna review this because I do agree that my king was things fell apart somewhere. Well, it's Blitz. Towards the end, things start get a little blurry. It's like your accuracy is going to go down as as the clock starts to tick for thee. All right, so let's review it. This is what is this? Center counter. I don't think it's the center counter. Something's telling me that's not right. Ew, whatever. Scandinavian is the center counter. No, never mind. Either way. White. This fight over the center. This classical game. I developed the queen. This was premature, in fact. This opening is weird, though. I gotta be honest. I don't have it's not like a huge repository. For whatever reason, this seems strong to me, but it seems strong in kind of a weak way. Because if the queen is going to have to move back a move later, you've messed up somewhere. Unless you intentionally did that. But most times you don't intentionally do that. Something's pushing you back. All right, so what else other than that? Pretty much anything. This would be perfectly adequate. And all the way, even this, right? Going all in. Yeah, maybe. Either way, that's not what happened. All right. All right, now this starts off looking kind of not horrible, but not great. I mean, he's captured one of my bishops that I actually like. But the capture kind of added another piece that closer to the center. And white has a pawn center that is formidable. I mean, black is going to have to deal with that. I mean, look at them. It's like they're out there riding torches in the night. All right, so takes the center.
Check.
Now, this is fucking provocative. Like, so here's the thing. There's a certain thing in chess where you have to know your estimation of reality has to be good, if that makes sense. Meaning, you're punished in chess for overestimating. If you believe that your position is stronger than what it is, you will be punished by whatever logic god there is. Ultimately, sometimes people do things that are pretty provocative with this thought that I'm going to get some kind of compensation for this thing that I'm doing. Believing that their position can somehow bear it or survive it in the first place. They're giving less priority to things that they should, they need to be giving more priority to things. In this case, this move is way beyond the pale.
Check.
Like, the only reason you would do that is if you think I get winning chances by doing it this way. Otherwise, it makes no sense. Like, that's an odd fucking move. And of course, at this point, the attack just kind of whips up on its own. Attack. And I love this move. If you notice, this move took me a little bit to think through because I needed to make sure that I wasn't fucking up. But ultimately, the catch here is, the trick is on this,
check.
This, which ends up in mate. So the pawn can't take that knight. The only thing the pawn can do is this, which is awesome because if the pawn did this, the knight will move there anyway. It's like playing spades and you play a queen as opposed to playing a king. So this is awesome. Knight has an awesome position. Bishop is in an awesome position. And now the queen elevates herself. Fucking epic. Now, what do you do with this? What do you do with this? Like, understand this hapless rook, this poor bastard of a rook, moved out the way because people were shooting at him. And then the king orders him back to the square that he started. You're an international master and you're playing somebody and you're shuffling your rook back and forth. That game is not going well for you. All right, I cash in because I didn't see anything else. And I don't have enough time to get my rook out and around. And by the time that takes place, Here's a weird thing. He still believes he has winning chances. Like, he does have winning chances, but he still believes it, like, a pragmatic point of view, looking at this position, says, at best, I need to play for a draw. Because there's no point in playing for a loss. So at best you play for a draw. But there's no winning chances. Like, the winning chances are low. And if you're taking these kind of extravagant actions to try to get some squeeze, some semblance of a winning chance out, it looks like this. This is a poster board for it. He allows
check.
Himself, like, this is
check.
Unless he just didn't see that. Maybe he didn't see that. But
check.
I assume that you see these things. Now, but here's the catch. My position worsens. Like, my position starts to fall apart. I'm able to get
check.
Momentum going after him and tie his bishop down. So there's this back and forth.
Check.
Now, the funny part is, at this point, I'm down in time. And The reason I'm doing this, I'm not doing this because they're good moves. Um, you're in a time situation, and there are only so many things people can pay attention to. And when there are pieces flying around, the move that he doesn't want to do is essentially that move, because that's not the move that he even thought of in the first place. So it takes somewhat of a split second to even figure out what the fuck took place. It's throwing flak. It's cannon fodder. It's going beyond the element of the game itself into the space of time in order to mess with the opponent. Think of it as you have cavalry coming to save you. You're holding down the fort. You need to keep them at bay for 2 days, and so you're just kind of throwing whatever you can at them to keep them at bay. Again, still tying him down. Now, to be honest, my position here is actually not bad. If I'm not mistaken, I'm even up material. So, it's not like I'm falling apart. I'm winning at this point on material and time. I gave up this night, and I gave up this night because I thought he had less time than what he actually had. But
Check.
whatever, it's fine. He was trying to mate me. So any other move, I get mated because this rook is going to land on b1. So how do I stop the rook from landing on b1? This. Because the only thing that can take that is the bishop, which again takes another second for human brain to process, which again he has to take another move to pull it back and another move to put it down. So yeah, that's an international master that just got his ass handed to him on YouTube. I've made you famous, buddy. Where are you from? Where are you from? Where are you from? Oh, I can't see it. Damn. It's like, where you at? Where you at? What's your chess.com rating? I don't have a chess.com rating. I have a USCF rating. My USCF rating has dropped to 1980, 60, something like that. I was up to 2032 and then it plummeted. Yeah, Go. I know of Go, but I haven't necessarily set it on the track. All right, let's get one more. And I'm probably going to call it a night. 1984. Uh-oh. This guy's going to be strong. All right.
Check. check, check, time warning, check, 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 check.
All right, that's a loss. That's what a loser looks like. I'm sorry, guys. I've shamed us. I tried. I did take out I am though. That should matter for something, right? All right, let's see. This is King's Indian with a certain variation twist. You couldn't hear me, but at this moment I said, "Oh fuck," audibly. "Oh fuck." The reason I said "oh fuck" is because in these positions it's hard to get at the white king. Like, there's certain immediate hits into my position that I don't necessarily have into his. That's not necessarily how this turned out, though. I mean, the moment that I recognize that, the thought in your head is be aggressive. You have to be as aggressive as possible, otherwise the person is going to have an opportunity to respond. You have to kind of keep initiative. Because if he gets the opportunity to line up an attack, that attack is going to be pretty difficult to head off. So try to hit it at the knees early. In this case, d5. d5 is usually an equalizing move. If black can play d5 in the opening and openings like this, black is not doing too bad. And I didn't think I was. This rips open his king side, so again, this seems to be fine. My plan here was straightforward. Push this pawn down his throat. Essentially use this pawn as a battering ram and ram it into this hit point or this attachment. But this is probably going to employ this other pawn also. The catch here is getting the queen out the way and getting the rooks over, but at the very least, get this pawn mobile and moving. That's the thought. The other secondary objectives was attacks on this pawn, meaning if you get the opportunity to make some kind of attack on that pawn, take it. That ends up fucking me over later on, because I missed something in doing so. But let's keep going. Right, you can't. I mean, just because you have a plan, you can't not pay attention to what they're doing. Now, this creates a problem for me. So, this bishop, part of the reason that I took with the pawn was because it expanded the range of the bishop. This move essentially seals that bishop into a tomb. The only way this bishop is going to get play is if something happens. Civil society ends. That's essentially what we're talking about in this situation, because these things are essentially an unbroken chain. But he might be able to find, work elsewhere. But in this case, in this diagonal, white has accomplished one of his objectives in sealing it off. All right, push. Lose one battle, win another. Now, this was a fuck up. So the objective is right, but at this point the queen is already here. Meaning, when the queen was here, this works, but the queen has moved over here, so that doesn't work anymore. And this immediately gets slapped down with the bishop move.
Check.
This knight was too strong. Like, things like this, where the knight just sits there and nothing in my camp can remove it. So the bishop
Check.
has to give itself. All right, push. Now, he comes up with a really good plan. So his plan is essentially a battering ram and cramp this bishop, because black was left with two unenviable choices. If you take it, he gets to open. You'll see what I mean. Hold on. Right here. If black lets him take, black now has an open lane to attack the white king. It's easier to defend the position by allowing white to have his piece there. The catch is, the pieces can't kill themselves. So whereas my piece can be killed, in which case they can kill that piece and then go and get my king, his own piece can't. So his piece is a better defender than my own piece in this situation. So in this case, I allow his piece to live, allowing that to hold up his rooks. His rooks are blocked in by his own pawn. Allow that situation to stay. But this also means giving up this pawn in the middle. But between the two options, it's a better option. I can't get at his king faster than he can get at mine. So I need to slow him down. And this is brutal. But again, I don't think I had a choice. This looks worse than it is. Now, I did this with a certain degree of trepidation. Black is not in a position to be launching attacks. Not like talking about. By the same token, if he sits there, he's going to get smothered. Ergo, he has to do something. In this case, the thought is, my fear is, if anything lands on the black diagonal, he's toast. He has no defense if it lands on the black diagonal, because this square is blocked. In fact, both of these squares are blocked. But if he can't, meaning this pawn needs to stay here. Regardless of what takes place in the position, that pawn needs to stay there. As long as that pawn stays there, the world is somewhat okay. And so I went with it. That's extraordinary. I mean, as pawn, couplets go, that is a fucking powerful position. And they stayed there like that for a long time in the game, radiating. But I had a lot of fixing in my position. All right. I needed to get these, at least I thought I needed to get these pawns out of the way. Now, I felt like at this point, I could start making inroads. But maybe this was the wrong way to do it. Maybe that was better. Or maybe not move him at all. Or they got to do something. We can't do that. Yeah. I mean... Well, let's see what happens.
Check. Check.
All right, let's not do that. Let's go back for a moment.
check,
What if he doesn't do that? What if he just pushes? What is it? Fuck, push it. What's wrong with that move? Why doesn't that work? I mean, this what is it called? Interpolation.
check,
Look at that. There's no defense to this. Like, the rook, that's the only move.
checkmate,
That wins, that fucking wins, motherfucker. Alright.
check,
Alright, so instead of that, push. I mean, you don't have to do rook takes rook, so fair enough. But the problem here is this. This hurts. When that queen lands on that square, that is the end of time. And you have to defend this because that's threatening the queen on the move. Meaning this fails immediately to
checkmate,
this. Hell, just to be an asshole, you could say check.
check, checkmate,
You didn't even do that. That's what I would do if it was me. God damn it. Motherfucker. To be fair, I only had like 5 seconds, but God, that hurts. Like, that's an amazing fucking win. And that's a win with like 3 seconds left to go or something. Oh, that hurts. That hurts. If you find yourself in check often, please consider liking, subscribing, or supporting the stream, or PayPal or Patreon. I know he probably built this out. I know, right? Oh, that sucks. That sucks. All right, I'm playing another one. It's late. Nobody's here. We're just fucking around. Did you? Okay, I am back. All right, I'm back. Lose. It takes your rating points. Yeah, it's a cage match. It's literally a cage match. If the guy just walks in and the other guy just punches the guy to death, that's part of the cage match. Thanks for the points, Green Giant. I appreciate it. Shout out to the Green Giant for the free points that he just gave the Progressive Soapbox. There's nothing to analyze in this game because the Green Giant did not make a move in this game. It's probably racist. Saying is he's green. No, I'm joking. Joking. Superboy. Alright. Show me.
checkmate,
Motherfucker. Oh, God, I hate that. And it's like, you could see it. Like, I don't know if it's like a split second before the piece even drops. You're like, fuck. It's like if you're typing. I don't know how many of you typed, but if you, like, took formal typing classes, you know when you fuck up. It's the weirdest thing. You know it. Even if you're not looking at the keys, you know it. It's the same thing. All right. God, that sucks. I was running out of time, but still, I'm like going out that way. All right, so this goes with this idea of attacking chances. Opening up against the queen. Trying to take a certain degree of control over the center. Now this is this I was like, oh shit. The knight is pinned and I don't have anything that can get over there to defend it. So I'm trying to add tactics in order to draw his attention away from this to this. That gives me time to get something over there to try to save that knight's ass. Alright. And to some degree it works. But like everything else, not 100%. Now, the thought of this is, I'm closing this up, but I'm closing this up because I want to use this as a battering ram. I want to get this to the point where I can push forward. That's the thought, anyway. That looks like that's a long way from happening right now because this pawn, if this pushes, is just going to get taken. But still, that's the thought. I didn't see the point in keeping double pawns here, and I thought the effectiveness of them were better with them uncoupled. All right. I want to keep this attacking this. All right, now he's trying to open up a line to my king. That's essentially what's taking place. So that's a no. That's a no. And that's another no, and defending that pawn. That pawn is a bone in his throat. As long as that pawn is there, my king is not safe, but not dire need of attention. All right, now at this point, I'm trying to enter the position. And I'm trying to trade that queen away as fast as possible. But he's not doing it. All right, fair enough. So I'm pushing. And as I touched that pawn and moved that pawn, I was like, motherfucker, I moved too fast. This is not even, I mean, I suppose this, maybe? I mean, the queen defends this. I mean, even on the next move, I don't think he can do anything. I suppose that is what the position, I guess, should look like. God, that hurts. That's painful, man. And God, he was 1600. Oh. Fuck me. Fuck me. Destroyer of souls. At the time, it's at 3 minutes. It might improve your game. Well, I mean, everybody's game is the same. It's a 3-minute game. It's like if you said a 10-minute game or 20-minute game. The length of the game is the length of the game. It's not. It's your skill level at that particular level of the game at that time frame. And improve my game. I have added. I'm at 1890. I'm nearly at 1900. What are you talking about? I mean, my game has gone from 1600. Yeah, I'm touchy about my game. All right. Not to mention, it's like 5 in the morning. Yeah, it's like 5 in the morning. I have excuses, man. I'm entitled to excuses. Oh fuck.
Check.
Fuck.
Time warning. Check. Check. Check.
All right. I gotta be honest. This was a horribly played game. I whoever who is somebody did Streamlabs. All right. Yeah, man. I think I'm just tired. I think this is God's way of saying go to fuck to sleep. That's what I think is taking place. Because crushed. JT is going to be crushed when we find out that all the UFOs are actually man-made aircraft and Cold War frenzy that's still been going on since it ended, and none of the scientists or pilots involved played chess. I don't understand why this notion of the UFOs is so radically weird. It's a paradigm shift. Don't get me wrong, but why does it need to be a paradigm shift at all? I guess I'm thinking we take it upon ourselves to go from Mars, Moon, all of the other planets, Jupiter. We explore all those things using robotics and everything else. Our level of technology is what, maybe 100 years? Like, we have this human-centric point of view of the universe. And I don't necessarily understand why there's this kind of weird assumption that humanity would be the only thing. I just find that to be an odd perspective. So it doesn't necessarily blow me away to think that something may be in our skies that isn't necessarily ours. It doesn't bother me in the least. I keep telling you, dude, if we had a government that was honest and not, if we had a country that was fair, that was somewhat idealized, where the rich, or there was no rich, there were no billionaires, and if there were disparities with regards to the resources that an individual will have access to, marginal at best. I say this because that particular society will look at our society and be aghast by the society in regards to the values of the society holds. Essentially, cash is more important than human beings. Can't look at your governmental system and think otherwise. So yeah. But I guess my point is this. I know what I was getting at. So I'm cynical with regards to how we engage this issue, meaning as human beings. If they can't be honest with just basic things, this issue takes that and blows the fucking roof off of them. Anything that you get, for the most part, is going to come from some governmental source, because there is no, how's the media going to be at some kind of crash site? Or how's the media going to be following some kind of surveillance of some kind of craft or that stuff? Everything that you get in this case is explicitly from some kind of governmental source. In fact, this is not even like a war zone, because in a war zone, at the very least, there is a war zone. That's kind of the issue with this. You're stuck with this notion of whatever they say. When Louis Elizondo was giving speeches and lectures, he had this kind of contentious meeting with the MUFON, because MUFON looked at it as, we've been doing this shit for like 80 years, and you've sidelined us, And so he goes and he kind of does this kumbaya thing, but at some point people are getting this kind of back and forth, like, this is the intelligence services. You're not giving us the whole story. We already knew that the story was going to come out months in advance, meaning the story that you guys gave is BS. You're not telling us the whole story. That was his point. And he's like, you're getting the story, sit tight, you're getting what you want, etc., etc. But he said it in somewhat of a contentious way. So, I don't know. But Hillary Klingon. If Hillary Klingon and Romulan Emmanuel are the current intelligent life from elsewhere in the universe, on an average, might be really dumb. I don't know the intelligence of the universe. Wouldn't it be funny if other societies had, we consider this notion of growth, like this infinite growth. Nothing grows forever. Things grow and they die. At best, I would imagine you could try some level of sustainability and trying to keep it going. But they have these notions of like humanity spreading out into the cosmos and everything else. And you think about other societies, what could they possibly be? They might have done something radically different than, of course they would have done something radically different. But I'm just making the point that, yeah, There's a point that are wrong with that, but the point is kind of like, of course, it's like those societies can be radically different in the way that they organize, even how they advance technologically. Like I've heard somebody ask one time, "Are they capitalists?" Like what? Are they capitalists? People get stuck in ideologies, man. All right, let's play some chess. Next game I lose, I'm calling it quits. I have like a grudge thing with Blitz to wait, so I want to take him apart.
Check. 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 Check.
It's a flying knuckle punch. It's like I always envision myself in a karate movement when I'm playing chess. If there was a flying knuckle punch, it was in the end the game didn't go poorly. I mean,
Check.
well, actually, this did go poorly from the get go. He was playing fast and loose. So here's the thing: you could do this. Like, there's an opening where you could pull this off, where the idea is knight takes and pawn push and spiking the two. The problem in the situation is he has a lot of shit hanging. Like, this pawn is up for grabs. Usually, I don't think the pawn is up for grabs. It's for whatever reason, this
Check.
didn't turn out well for him. I was even considering stuff like
Check.
this, but I couldn't see it. He had too many moves. So, also, I need to grab this knight in order to get material equality. My thought was stuff like even this. This looks extreme, but that holds on to his material. But does he lose his life? That's the question, right? He check. I don't know if I can get him. Even though
Check.
his king is all the way fucking down here. Can he get got from here? There's no way he can live through this.
Check.
Okay, this is fantasy land. Alright, let's go back to the real game.
Check. Check.
Alright, I don't know if I like this. So what about the check?
Check.
Alright. I need to stabilize this. I'm okay with pawn taking if necessary, but I needed to stabilize it. This is a mouse slip. That's called a mouse slip. That's when you try to move it here, but instead it moves it here. That is called a mouse slip. I was like, motherfucker. Queen has to move. The question is, where does the queen go? I suppose the queen may go here. What is all this shit on the thing? Okay, there we go. Alright. This.
Check.
Alright, I like this. Because this, like, it just soaks into this position. It's like, just oozing in like water. Also, this is another effect. He can't castle. He can't leave. This is like you're shooting, you're not allowing him to go anywhere. He has to stay in the center of the board. The king is stuck. He can't castle king side, he can't castle queen side. Both sides are covered by the queen and the bishop. So he runs. I try to open the position. I need open lines to his king. This was a fuck up. Like, that was a big fuck up. Like it's hard to get across how big that fuck up was. I didn't see the knight coming here, or the very least I didn't see it at the time I moved. I suppose queen here might be better with the thought of transposing the queens over, transferring it over here. But yeah, it's just fuck up. I did my best to recover from that fuck up.
Check. Check.
And that's the get butt naked move. Yep. Get butt naked, sir.
Check.
Yeah. Well played, Blitz toy. Well played, sir. Well played. You just got better by the superior man. A far, far superior man. There's no harm in that. There's no harm in that at all. I mean, I think elections should be decided by mecha fights to the death. Dude, the Andrew Church, there's a series called Dust. Oh wow, we're getting the picture thing. There's a series called Dust, and in that series, one of it's an awesome thing where one Asian woman, one white woman, wakes up in these ultra futuristic, like thing. Like she's by her man, she's fucking drop dead gorgeous, and she like puts her makeup on using this technology, and she's like in the bathroom getting ready, and you see in the background like talk about a fight that's about to take place, like this kind of big event, this huge event that's going to be settled by nations, China versus America, and you see the women getting ready and they're getting into the car, and the Japanese woman is being, or the Chinese woman is being chauffeured, the American woman is driving, and they get to the place where they're about to have this event, and they get into these machines, and they're like wired in, and then it's like it's Pong, like they're moving back and forth in a Pong game. It's like ding, 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 and these big mechs are just Pong things. God, that thing was awesome. Absolutely awesome. It was like a 12-minute movie. I mean, a 12-minute video. Yeah, it's called Dust. Well, the name of the it's a series. It's like an anthology series, kind of like think like Outer Limits. But yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome. All right, let's see. Let me get one more game, man. I said I was gonna play until I lose. I haven't lost yet. So.
time warning. Check.
It's like there's a subconscious thing that's repelling me from 1900. I'm so close, I can taste it. I'm just 13 points away. It's like one game away. Well, it depends on the game, but close to one game away. This would have put me there by like maybe 1 or 2 points. All right, I lost it. This is it for the night. It's this morning. It's this morning. Ruy Lopez, exchange variation. I hate this fucking variation. No imagination, people. It's like people with no imagination. Technocrats of the world. Alright. I am trying to exert something on the center, and I'm trying to get something started. So the thought was to kick this knight. I gotta be honest, I don't necessarily know what to do in this position, because this position seems lifeless to me. And so it's like trying to start something from nothing. At this point, it's just fighting chess. You're just trying to start something. You're just trying to start something. So, now, to be fair, this is probably not the something you should start. Because that move can't be supported. I was thinking this, but I didn't like ideas of this. I thought that would fuck me over at some point. And the moment that this bishop moves, that becomes a viable threat. But I liked ideas of hitting this. Like, I don't necessarily know if there would have been a pullback. Maybe this. After this, push down. To be fair, no, that's not a good move. Because ultimately, I don't necessarily know what you get out that outside of making his position messed up. I mean, the bishop gets back there, but let's see. Alright, so this loses a pawn. Trying to mobilize the pawns. And to some degree, there was some level of success to that, but he also had pawns, and he also mobilized his pawns. And not just that, he punked my rook. My rook got totally punked down. Look at this. He's like, you better get the fuck out of here. Give me your necklace. And I just gave it up to him. My grandma gave me that necklace. He walks away. Which gives him the tempo to essentially wreck the position. Like, between what happened and just standing up to the bully, stand up to the bully. Because at the very least, this gives black an extra tempo that he doesn't have. And that knight is not there to fuck him over royally later. Question becomes, now that black has extra tempo, what does black do? I suppose this. Because that prevents that wedge. It's probably going to push down. I suppose this. This has problems because he doesn't have anything else to defend it. So I probably can't do that. That pawn is going to get taken. The reason why I want to push that is because this pawn is going to seal this pawn as a wedge. Meaning, if it gets to a point where there's only kings on the board, my king will always have to mind this pawn. And my king can only go a few squares. So, sealing that pawn and making sure that pawn is secure is a big deal for him. Alright. And that just wrecks the position. That just utterly and entirely wrecks the position. I didn't know what else to do, though. Like, I considered F8, but that's the same difference. Maybe moving the knight or the rook. I mean, but that doesn't work because the next one is the pin. I mean the fork. And like I said, this is like a lifeless position. There's nothing to attack. Yeah, constrained decision space. I was trying. That bishop was running for looking for safe harbor. And then the indignity of this at the end. I sacked this knight thinking, okay, the bishop at least gets us way out through here, but the knight is holding down that square, so the bishop doesn't even get that way out. It's like, bastard. 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 13 points away from 1900. If 100,000 people saw watching chess videos, would you watch others? Oh, hell no. No. I don't think I could do just chess videos. I mean, the chess videos are just... If I'm between doing like videos, or if I'm, let's say, like lunch or something like that, I may get a couple of games in. And at this point, I just was like, well, just make videos. Maybe people who are interested in chess, who like chess, they might be interested in analysis afterwards. And they may like drama associated with Blitz. So, Jamal, did somebody give you vampirism? No, nobody gave me vampiricism. No one did. Let's see. Arrival. Uh-oh. I'm guessing it's going to be closer to Arrival than E.T. Yeah, it may be weird, but we don't know. I mean, that's just it, right? Like, not even, even if it's something that's like us, like, culture. Like, look how we get along with cultures on our own planet. We have a lot of growing up to do before dealing with cultures on other planets. I mean, we can't even solve our own issues. But, like, culturally, I mean, it could be radically different. Like, who knows? Like, you can think of all sorts of like biological stuff. Like, maybe they have a biological predisposition towards chilling the fuck out, And so the society itself, for the most part, just advanced swimmingly because, for the most part, their priorities and aims were relatively similar. I mean, man, like, I don't know. I guess at that point, these guys might end up being Nazis. The light at the end of the tunnel was a bus. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think it'll be interesting, fascinating, and I damn sure want to know what they got in the vaults. Because, by the way, they've been studying this. Luis Elizondo kind of makes the point that they've been studying the technology. They know, like, the principles of the technology. They have equations. Like, so apparently they've been studying this stuff for a while. And somebody is strongly trying to push to get this information out. So, oh, God, I get one more. Last game. Then I'm getting breakfast.
check, checkmate,
Yeah, I didn't listen to God's call. I didn't listen to God's call. I'm dropping pieces. All right, Roy Lopez. This is a weird variation. I don't know what this is. That's what took me so long because I didn't know what the fuck was going on. Not to mention there were a lot of exchanges at stake. So, knight takes, pawn takes, even odd moves like knight over here, but I didn't think that it had anything. We need this. As soon as the knight comes here, there's nothing. But either way, that's this. Now, one of the other things I was thinking was this. Wait a minute. This. Yeah, I guess that's fine too. Yeah, this is a weird opening. I don't know this opening. Alright, this is fine. Now, the first thing. This is a fuck up. This should have followed immediately. I just missed it the first time around. Did not miss it the second time around. Alright. Everything's fine. Now, I couldn't figure out where to go. And in retrospect, this was probably a bad move. The king was probably safer in the center. And this, with the thought of bringing the knight here, would probably been even better. Because it would have secured that pawn. It would have got the knight to a position of attacking the bishop. I always, the reason I do this, the reason I do the review of the game is because I tried to ascertain why did you fuck up. I understand at this point it's 5 in the morning. It's 5:30. So, I've been up all night. Reason A. But beyond the fatigue or something to that effect, what's the thing? What's in the mind space of the person split second before they fuck up? And do their subconscious know that they're fucking up? I suspect their subconscious knows. Why doesn't the subconscious tell? There's a felt sense sometimes with that stuff. Thinking of felt sense. There was a military project where they were trying to get machines that could determine who's the bad guy on the battlefield because, they have, let's say, a jet flying by and a ton of people on the ground. They want to be able to hit the bad guys. And they couldn't do it by itself. They realized that the human being, the subconscious of the person, understood the battlefield before the person understood the battlefield. Meaning, it already did the processing. The conscious mind just wasn't aware of the information. The machine, however, could ascertain certain changes in the subconscious of the individual in order to choose who was friend or foe. But that information was coming to some degree from the subconscious of the person. Fascinating fucking technology. Unfortunately, it's used for murdering people. I'm gonna hit. All right. This guy's a grandmaster. All right, it's definitely the last game. But I'm gonna take him down. Where are you from, buddy? Bulgaria. The chess players in Bulgaria? Thought that was the whirling dervishes stuff. I'm a grandmaster at that. I mean, I'm pretty good at this game, but I don't need to put on airs by having initials behind my name. If you feel me. Alright, this is a wild knuckle fight. That doesn't do that. That doesn't work. Well, maybe. I mean, their tactics on the queen. And I gotta be honest, not a square either way. Hold the position. Hold the position. There we go. Grandmaster. Grandmaster, my ass. Grandmaster of what? Because it ain't playing chess, buddy. Alright. Let's stick him here. There's no rule to say we have to take that knight. I will take his ass if I am provoked, however. So just know that, sir. Give me that. Give me that. Alright. Let's get our dodge. Shit, he's coming to get me, dog. We gotta get some going. Gotta do something. Do something.
Check.
Nope, I don't want no parts of that. I want no parts of that, mister. None. None at all. Alright, now we have other problems. Yeah, we have difficulties. This is a challenging period for us. I was making kind of racist jokes about Bulgaria, but that's no reason for you to take it personal. Alright. There we go. Alright, I gotta keep that. That knight can't move. That knight has to stay there forever. Oh, wait. The knight can't move now. Shit. Alright, I need to get over there. Oh shit.
Time.
Yeah, I know. Oh shit. Oh fuck. Oh fuck. Oh.
Check. Check. Check.
No, I didn't have to check him. Oh, he wants to challenge me. He's challenging me. think he can kick my ass. Alright. The soapbox is being challenged by a Grandmaster. He's gonna rule today. He did this. I mean, granted, he's playing a dramatically weakened soapbox. But I'm gonna persevere. I'm gonna do it for America.
Time warning. Check. Check.
Just remember this day. Remember this day. This is a great day. Just know that a man can challenge a grandmaster, and that man can succeed. Observe a grandmaster. Getting taken apart. Being hyperbolic, but you know the point. Alright, so this gets like kind of, I guess, tactical. Actually, it's positional. Actually, it's a little bit of both. The knight, the tactics are kind of revolving around ensuring this knight doesn't get captured, because this knight doesn't have any squares right now. But there's a lot of things that are moving on the board, so that knight needs to find some exit. Right, there's his exit. Now this is bad for me. Black has to take that pawn, because this becomes too much of a positional advantage. This has to be the answer. I was considering this, but this fails to this when the pawn takes. It can't take that. Let me see. Is there some kind of resource? White is most definitely going to take that. I even consider push, but I don't know if that works. No, that doesn't work. Alright. Let's see. Yeah, there was a bone in my throat. I needed to draw pressure away from this. There was too much on this knight, and I couldn't get this knight out of dodge. That knight had to die immediately. Alright, I had to get myself an out. Now, the funny part is, I saw this earlier. I would have needed to do this. Like the moment he did that, this. But you can't do that because you get mated. Huh. Maybe it was a bad move. Maybe I didn't have a choice. Yeah, maybe I didn't have a choice. Alright, so grab what I could. And be as bothersome as I possibly can be, while making sure
Check.
the king stays safe.
Check.
That's called a win. That's called the progressive soapbox, taking down a grandmaster. pop reality. What are Bernie's chances so far, in your opinion? And Animaxa. Oh, thank you, Animaxa. I think Bernie's chances are damn good. Personally, I don't subscribe to this belief that what he's pushing is not necessarily popular. I also don't subscribe to the belief that you need to get everybody on your side. You just need a majority. Ultimately, there's 50% of the population that don't vote. If he gets 10%, it's a landslide. So, this ability to mobilize independent voters and even a certain section of the Republican electorate, no, I think his chances are real good. I mean, the biggest obstacle is trying to get through the Democratic primary. That's honestly, I think that's his biggest obstacle. I suspect Trump would prefer to run against Biden. He already beat one Clinton. I mean, he's just beating another Clinton at that point. But I think his chances are good. This is, like I said, the first time in my lifetime where Andrew Church, we're already hearing claims of illegal aliens voting. That's fucking hilarious. That's hilarious. All right, let me get one more, and people are just fucking around at this point. Oh man, I'm fucking tired. Typically on Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, I have treatment days. Usually it's not Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. My treatment days are a mishmash of whatever. In the old days, before we went traveling, God, that feels like forever ago. It feels like before and after travel. I could do treatments anytime I wanted. Not anymore.
Check. 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 check, 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 check. Time warning. Check. 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 Check.
It's not pretty, but I'll take it. It's not pretty, but a win is a win is a win is a win. That's actually not true. There's some wins that are far, far, infinitely better than others. But this is what. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. I am enamored that that kicked that Grandmaster's ass. It's awesome. Grandmasters are seen with reverence in chess. Not all of them are equally skilled at Blitz. You know, some are amazingly adept at it, but not all of them are.
check, check,
Yeah, dude. Comes a time when a man has to lay down his weapons. Come on. Oh, you one of those. Give me that. I gave you a chance to surrender. I don't want you to surrender now. I'm gonna mate your ass. Oh, look at you. Look at you. That ain't gonna help you at all. Watch this.
check,
When a man breaks, just the breaking of a man, it's like, "Ugh," or a woman, or a child. I don't give a shit who it is. They put on their gloves, they get hit. Sweden. All of that snow. And that naked sauna trip tickets or whatever. There's a we have a chess club in Richmond. I haven't been to the chess club in God knows how long. My thought was to get my skills back up before I went. I've been able to maintain the 1800 rating for the past several weeks, so it's not a fluke. I'm going to have an all-out assault on the king's position, using the h-pawn as a hook. He's concerned. I'd be concerned too. He's sitting across from me. I just took down the goddamn Grandmaster. You better be concerned. Alright, that's uncomfortable. Alright, fair enough. Got a wife and kids at home, fair enough. Gotta take care of the kids. Alright. Alright, now we can focus on King 7. I had to, well, the knight had to secure the bishop, otherwise it was going to cause problems. And I need to slow down his momentum here to expand it over here. I want no parts of that, mister. But how can, let's see. means that pawn is a... What the hell? Alright, I don't see it, so you gotta prove that. Yeah, that's not proving it. Oh no, dog. I'm almost inclined to believe you can't prove it. Oh, maybe. Hold on. Oh, I really need the castle. Yeah. Alright, this position is really dangerous. Yeah, like that. Stuff like that. Stuff like that. You can't trust the guy. I'm a nice guy. I don't deserve to be treated in such a manner. Not
Check.
at all.
Check.
Alright, let's end those checks. Now let's get back to moral of the story. Oh, that's fucking brave. Look at the bravery.
Check.
Here's Johnny. Here's Johnny. No, you're gonna let me do my here's Johnny.
Checkmate.
It's goddamn Johnny. Beast. Oh, who's next? Who's next? Get my second wind. Get my sugar water. Phosphoric. Oh, God. Where is this? Qatar? Turkey. God, I hate this fucking opening. That's probably way too aggressive. Yeah, that's way too aggressive. That's way overboard. Yeah, in for a penny, in for a pound, I suppose. In for a penny, in for a pound. Alright, what is clear is I need the castle sooner rather than later. I'm opening lines to its king.
Check.
Alright, let's do this.
Check.
Fuck. Fucking hell. Oh, motherfucker. He's trying to shame me. I will not be shamed by you, sir. I won't be shamed by you at all.
Check. 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 Check time. Check.
Shameless. I'm not resigning.
Check.
King is just
Check.
belligerent. They're gonna drag my ass before prisons. Before
Checkmate.
yeah. Going out saying, fuck all of you. God damn it. What happened? Where did I go wrong? I don't like this exchange variation. I've never liked the exchange variation. Going back to when I was a kid. So nothing has changed on that front. And this is way too aggressive. Like overboard.
Check.
Funny part though, to some degree, it seems to be warranted. I mean, look at this. So this,
Check.
this. So what if the check pushed him over? So what if this? Like the thought being, don't let it go anywhere. Just keep him. What happens after that? I mean, because at that point, the idea would be something like this with a castle. Let's see.
Check.
All right. All right, so I can't castle. I have to do something else. I was thinking
Check.
this. That was my original thought. But I didn't want him to, fuck. The wild part about this, if he crosses over here, I get the check with the momentum. So check. But either way, let's see. The question is, where does that queen go? In fact, the queen is stuck already. Well, not technically. Because after this... Shit. Yeah, at that point the queen was already trapped. The game was already over. Last game. Darth Vader. Alright. This one will show me.
check,
Uncompromising chess. Uncompromising. Just fucking uncompromising. It's just the other alternatives for the bishop were so not good. What's wrong?
check,
Oh, what's wrong? You don't want to be there no more? Oh, po baby. Why you don't want to be there no more?
check, check,
Whoa, 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 whoa. Slow down, slow down. I'm about to do something bad. Slow down. No need to rush. Take your time. See right there. Knights are fucking tricky, man. Nope.
check,
Interpolation. Check. Resign. Resign. Resign and stop playing chess. Still considering whether to resign? Really? Your life is about to end.
checkmate,
Yeah. That was a brutal death. It's like just grab. You know. Yeah, that was brutal. At a certain point, the man couldn't even defend himself. It's like, stop fighting. There's a time in the movie where the guy always says, stop fighting. The good guy. Where he goes through like a river of blood. He's like kills like 100 people, and then he gets to the final bad guy, and he's like, I'm gonna let you live. For whatever reason, he always lets him live, or tries to let him live. But the bad guy always does something that allows the good guy to kill him. The problem is they can't allow the good guy to kill him in cold blood, so they need the bad guy to do something for the good guy to kill him in the movie theater, be okay with it. That was that moment where I'm like, hey, just stop fighting, man. Just, I've broken 3 of your ribs in your leg and I've ripped your arm off. But you can leave here with your life. You wouldn't do it. This was a brutal, brutal beating. Who's here? Somebody's here. People are here. What? Always better on white. He did get checkmated. Fatality. Yeah. They must not have a lot of players here today. What the hell is this? United Kingdom, UK. Brexit. This is the pure. I've been saving this in my toolbox. This is in my weapon set that I've been playing with. It's hypermodernism. I only go so far into hypermodern part, but it's been scoring me some pretty good victories. And there's a flexibility of the position that is unparalleled. Look at that bastard. You just wanted to fuck up my position. You ain't slick, asshole. You ain't slick, asshole. Alright, now what? Let's get out of Dodge. And we need to be like, oh, you guys don't have the screen up, so you don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Fair enough. Alright, now I need to be uber belligerent. Because if he gets the opportunity to line up against my king, bad things happen. No, that's fine. I think that's fine.
Check.
I want this file open. I need him to help me with that. Special with this man child, just waiting. It's waiting for the beast to be released. Release the beast. We're at the 1882, but don't pay attention to that. We're close to the 1900. I'm not a quitter, man. I don't like giving up on this idea of hitting 1900. Thanks, dog. Oh, wait a minute. That's allows bishop. That's, okay, I see. Aren't you fucking clever? Release the beast. Release the beast. Release the beast. Yo. Fuck, I'm scared to take that. Yeah, I don't want the queen to get pinned, so it's like an awkward take. This. All right. Do it.
Check.
All right. Now, you have a wife and kids at home to feed and take care of. You better handle your goddamn business.
Check.
What? What? Get off me, son. Back away from me. Goddamn live wire, you better back away first. Boy. If you don't back away from me in 5 seconds. There you go.
Time.
I know.
Check.
Run.
Check.
Run. Now kill stuff.
Check.
They ain't gonna help you. They ain't gonna help you at all. Nothing. They ain't gonna help you at all. Don't worry. You just one sucker that got their ass kicked today. But to be fair, Tazo's far... His rating is much less than me, so, you know. So, you know, fair enough. I know you guys might have thought, oh God, there's no way he can come back. The time deficit. My brain zeroes in when time gets constrained. 10 seconds is forever for me. It's like an astronaut at the edge of a black hole. For the outside observer, for the people who are watching me play, time is going at a regular clip. For me, it's in slow motion. It's hard to explain. Astronaut, edge of a black hole. 10 seconds is forever. Infinite confidence.
Check.
All right. I'm trying to create opportunities. Those opportunities being his king with this bishop and these rooks. I'm trying to take his head off. Which means the thing, to make that plan work, I need this pawn moved. And I need this move. So I went on to push. But this leads to this awkward placement of the king. It's kind of precarious, but I didn't want to take with the queen because I didn't want this bishop landing here in some kind of tactical flourish, pinning the queen to the king. So that's what
Check.
the way I looked at it is I can run around
Check.
and avoid the main issues.
Check.
This
Check.
is fucking
Check.
beautiful. The breaking of a man. And this move, just utterly indignant. Pawn push against this. The queen is holding. The pawn can't take. What he's probably going to do is this, which
Check.
allows for this. I guess this. King's forced to move.
Check.
But you can tell this is not
Check.
going well. This is not going well for Tazo at all. All right, let's see if Achilles could do a little bit better than the last guy. This game, if I'm not mistaken, may take me to 1900. Quest for 1900. sneaky SOB. Queen is on the diagonal, so if it castles the queen, it's potentially on the hook. Motherfucker. Alright, the battle for Britain has started. That doesn't work either. Alright, fine. I'll go the other way. I don't have to go kingside. There are other avenues by which I can go. Alright, now what? Alright, first problem is the bishop. That needs to be mitigated. And I mean, this bishop, it's cutting into my side. What the fuck? Can't do anything about it. Don't take that, dog. Don't take that. Don't take that. He's gonna take that pawn. I don't know if I can survive that, if I'm being honest. Even though I don't see direct lines of attack. I mean, I see one, that bishop over there, and that needs to be mitigated, but... And I think I know how, but... This is a problem. First, get out of dodge. Next. Why can't I just take that? Oh, well, that's why. Fuck's sake. Why can't I? All right. What else? Now what else? I mean, you paid a lot for that muffler. Yeah, dude, I think you paid too much for that muffler. In fact, I am almost certain you paid too much for that muffler.
Check.
Oh.
Check.
Oh, disoriented. Disoriented. He was punch drunk. He got punch drunk. Believe it or not, it happens. Something happens, it jars you, and you have to make a move immediately. And the move that you make is kind of all over the place. It's like... Those are missed punch. After which I... Followed by the flying trapeze Batman Green Lantern kick. At which point he fell apart. And died. Alright. So yeah, this is the Pirk. Now I have to be honest, the F5, I don't have good luck with that. Like pushing that F5 pawn, I invariably always end up with a crisis on this diagonal. It almost never fails. Which means I am probably going to put F5 in a shop because F5 is not doing it for me. But my issue is that I'm cramped. Also, this is cutting into my position, so even though I'm not necessarily at risk at the very moment, and to be honest, he lost because he just bungled the attack. His attack should have been overwhelming. Look at this. He has 1, 2, 3, 4 with the option of 6 to join into attack. Not to mention this, he has pretty much his entire team in attack. He just bungled it. And my defense was perfect. That too, I gave him every opportunity to bungle it. A lesser player wouldn't have been able to do that. I mean, look at the pressure that's on me. He's like sacking shit. Who do you think he is? I'm like 100 points higher than him. You better respect your elders. Where you from? Greece? Greece? Yeah, Greece. And this is an unraveling.
Check. Check.
And that's when a man ends his play. Yep. Breaking of a man. And if I'm not mistaken, I may be at Andrew Church. Will you broadcast it for us to see when your wife does an intervention for addiction to chess? Chess is the other woman. That's what people used to call chess. The other woman. But no, she's fine. She's fine. Your analogy only works if you're observing something entering a black hole. Yes, it is. That's the analogy, Balthazar. Like, an object is getting close to the black hole. The observation of the individual that's from Earth looking at that astronaut will be there for eternity. From the perspective of the person looking at it, from the perspective of the astronaut, he's going to get spaghettified. All right, I think I'm at 1900 right now, so I probably could stop. But I don't, maybe. Depends on how the rating thing fixed up. But I'm not afraid to risk my 1900 rating. Yeah, they must be slow today. $21.18. What is this? China? China. I'm going to do this game for America. This is Caracan. Need to move. That's aggressive. That's uber aggressive. Thing is, I can't do nothing about it. I can't prove it. Need to break through. Gotta break through. Break through.
Check. Check.
Can I get a check? Y'all getting checks. Can I get checks? Checks only for y'all?
Check.
Can I get a check? I can get a check too?
Check.
What? I can get a check? Oh, you don't want me having any checks. Alright. Fair enough.
Time warning.
Fair enough. You don't need me to get checks like that. That's alright, dog. Fuck.
Check.
I'm not ashamed. It's called being a competitor. Bleed on a chessboard, I guess. Alright. Let's see what happened. Cairo Khan, King's Indian attack. So maneuvering. Trying to get pieces into decent squares. I chose to attack on the queen side, but nothing became of this.
Check.
And I guess that was premature. I felt like something needed to be done. I suppose... Well, I don't know how to stop that anyway. In fact, I don't think I can stop it. Alright, so...
Check. Check.
But that is fucking brutal.
Check.
Like, because this tied me down. The queen and the bishop were essentially inseparable. Couldn't go anywhere.
Check. Check.
This move, man. That move was a... Going back. All the way right here. This move saves so much. Because the threat here is for the queen to put pressure on this pawn. But the thing that saves this pawn is this rook. Because the rook can always come here to defend it. Alright. I want to be knight too. Right. Zuggy! This is Zuggy! Oh man. The last game and it just so happens to be Zuggy. Alright. This is fate. This is commissioned by God himself. beauty of this match is if I win, I shove him out of 1800. It's like I kick him out of 1800. And he keeps me from going to 1900. It's like a crab in a barrel. It's fascinating.
Check.
Motherfucker. Oh, aches, pain. God damn it. That's not good. That's not good at all. Alright. Keep your shit together. There's no point in panicking. Panicking ain't good for nobody. Calm, rational, strong and stable. Alright. That's alright. Yeah, it's alright. Whoa.
Time warning. Check. Check. Checkmate.
Everybody's scared of Zuggy. Zuggy the Destroyer my ass. Get out of here. Zuggy. Zuggy who? Hey, get out of 1800s. Don't deserve to be in no 1800s. Zuggy. 1800s. Go back to the 1700s. As I ascend into the 1900s. Rubbing my testicles across the face of Zuggy in the process. Bam! Bam. Anybody does anybody want to congratulate me on vanquishing the Zuggy character? Where's the Zuggy guy that was in my chat? Did he leave? Did he leave after the real Zuggy got beat up? I'm a humble winner, man. I'm a humble winner. I grew up, being extraordinarily humble and winning. Crushed. Thank you, Anna Maxa. Appreciate that. I was being joked mercilessly for getting beat up by Zuggy because Zuggy that day kept kicking my ass royally. And so it's nice to be able to vanquish Zuggy. And the wild part about this? I know at some point there were people who were watching this game and thought to themselves, oh man, his goose is cooked. But if you notice in the game, I was like, stay calm. It's okay. Don't stress it. Don't panic. Be serene. I got into this kind of like monk-like karate state where you just kind of just zen, just like that. And at that point, I'm one with the universe. The question is, why don't you start off the game that way? It's kind of like the Incredible Hulk. You need something to jar it. This is a really interesting line that I am entirely unfamiliar with, and it is causing me all sorts of problems. So Black decides to not take any shit off White from the get-go and get into this kind of fighting chess. Now the interesting part here, I thought this may work, but that doesn't work because the knight comes here threatening mate on the move. So he doesn't have to fear that. But he took a long time looking at that because he thought that he may get caught with that. And other variations of it don't work either. So I do this. Now, it is true, however, that if he moves his queen out the way, this works. So he doesn't move the queen out the way. He attacks the bishop. All right. I'm having trouble figuring out what to do with my pieces.
Check.
That wasn't what I wanted to do with my pieces. My pieces were just clumsily in the way. For the longest time, I kept telling myself, bolster the bishop, back up the bishop, back up the bishop, and I never did.
Check.
God, that hurt. But that's a magnificent deficit. See, all right, so right here, the problem was, so in this situation, it's asymmetrical warfare. But what that means is, there's no symmetry in regards to the way you wage war. You can't wage it in a sense where there's peace and peace. You have to wage it in a way where you can almost like hit and move, where you don't have the ability to trade down, that type of stuff. You have to keep pieces on the board, trade pawns, not pieces, that type of stuff. Hey, you. Come here. Go right out. I don't know if they can see you. Oh God, here's a big one. Oh. Stop. Tell him hi. This is Pitsu. Say hi. Come on. Oh. Come on. And this is Bo. He's an 80-pound lapdog. All right, I'm going to end this because they're going to get sick and eat something.
Come on.
Cut out.
Slowly. Come on.
Guess who the last person I played? Zuggy. Pushing him out of 1800s. Zuggy is now lounging in the bottoms of the 1700s thanks to me. He was vanquished. Like a crushing mate just like went after him and just and the wild part about it, I was down. I fucked up. He took my knight, took my rook, and I had to talk myself down. Because most people would panic in that situation. Mm-hmm. But I'm an experienced hand. I've been doing this for a long time. Mm-hmm. And I thought to myself, I said, Zuggy's gonna fuck up. Mm-hmm. He has to fuck up. Mm-hmm. I said, I just need to be calm and serene and allow for the opportunity for that to come. and I made myself one with the universe. I tried to explain to them that you can't start the game that way. It's kind of like the Incredible Hulk gets angry and then, you know, but instead of getting angry, I just get zen.
I'm going back to work now.
That's my baseline. Yeah. All right, I'm at my 1900. Mutts ruled. That's funny. It was a growing master from Bulgaria. All right, I'm gonna end this. We've been fucking around for 3 hours. I may get like an hour rest or something, but I have a bunch of shows. In fact, on Mondays I have treatments, and I am often tired after I come back from those. In the old days, I used to be able to do my own, so you know, I'm gonna do it 5 in the morning. Do it 5 in the morning. Now I'm on somebody else's schedule, so Mondays get a bit dicey in regards to doing videos. But if I'm up, you know, it's like if you're up, you're up. But I have more videos to do today. You know, one of the wildest things when I was looking at one of the stock channels the other day, I think it was a few weeks ago. In fact, this will be a video on its own. I'll just talk about it in the video. All right, guys, I'm going to end this. Seriously, for real. I'm going to end this. If you guys enjoy the content, please feel free to share, like, subscribe. You can always support the page. I don't think anybody was going to watch is watching the chess thing. That said, though, I realized I screwed up. I fucked up on something, and I didn't do it intentionally. So in one of my other videos, I called it a Grandmaster Falls. Now, I called it a Grandmaster Falls because it was me ripping apart a Grandmaster, essentially beating a GM. I put the face of Carlsen on it, and I think people clicked on it thinking it was Magnus Carlsen getting just trashed, and come to find out it wasn't. It was just me doing a review of me beating somebody in Blitz that was a Grandmaster. I would imagine that was, you know, some people like, who the hell is this? What the fuck is this? But nevertheless, I do these, if it's not your cup of tea, you know, it's not one of those videos you need to watch. And I suppose that me saying this at this point, 3 hours in, is kind of besides the point, because anybody who's here is clearly watching. But there will be videos that won't, you know, be for everybody. And, you know, if this is chess, it's one of them. This is just me adding content that I think some people may like. I mean, especially when it gets into blitz and analysis. I'd imagine there'd be some chess players out there that may enjoy the... When you're at chess clubs, or even when people are like at restaurants and bars and they play, oftentimes there's this spectator aspect of it, where people just kind of stand beside talking about the game, blitzing, like, you know, talking and whatnot. I figure, if at worst, even if 2 people are like, oh, that's interesting, then 2 people are like, that's interesting. So, all right, guys, I'll leave it here. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.